Dear Mr. David Icke, I want to first thank you very much for all the work you do and the huge contribution you have done to humanity and to make this world a better place. Thank you for all the inspiration and thank you for all the inspiring pictures and illustrations and way of putting things. It has inspired a lot of millions of people all over the planet, that is for sure. I want to share this very important message with you. I have tried to connect with you several years now. I have written emails and letters and sent you this tool you could use between your hands to get your arthritis out of your fingers and so. And I have sent you some DVDs and so. But now I thought about why not make this video, because then others might see it and get the message that I'm delivering to you now. There is a huge reason why humanity cannot get off their knees, you can say, like your new book is saying that we should get off our knees. There is really a thing that's very important. You have in your book, The Biggest Secret, you have here on page 489, you have this illustration about the brain, and we become locked into the left brain and disconnected from the right brain, where our intuition, our contact to our higher self and so is. And that's really crucial in the understanding of what I'm going to say. Since I have sent you this DVD also called Switching of the Brain, I think it was in late 2008 or was it in the beginning of 2009? I think it was in 2008. I also sent this about mobile phone radiation, is it safe on us, with Professor Ole Jonsson. What I'm talking about here is that most people don't really know that when we use the mobile phones and the whole wireless society, there are produced what is called technical scalar waves as a side effect, as a side product. In the olden days, the mobile phones had antennas, long antennas, and that means they were receiving much better. When the antennas today has disappeared into the phone has less capacity, you can say, for the antenna capacity, of course, and they produce more technical scalar waves. And scalar waves are also used for mind control. And what is actually happening with the electrosmog from the wireless society, and especially the wireless society, because it has been so extreme. We have about 4.6 billion mobile phone users today in the world, and therefore we are having mobile mast antennas put up everywhere. But what is the result of all this radiation and electrosmog going on is actually what is shown on this DVD, switching of the brain. Because switching of the brain correlates perfectly with your illustration on page 489 in the book The Biggest Secret, an excellent book. We are being switched. That means the brain hemispheres, of course, do not connect anymore. Then we have the feelings, the emotions are being suppressed, and we lose our connection to our soul, to our spirit, to our intuition and so. And this means we become only functioning in the intellect, with the primitive reptile brain is actually being more and more dominating. And this is what we see today with all the perversions. This is exactly also like you say, but it's very important that we get put more focus on what mobile phones and the wireless society do, because that none is really pointing very much to, especially not when it comes to consciousness and what is really happening to the human consciousness and the soul and so on. I want to show you a solution, because we have all this knowledge. You bring forth a lot of knowledge. We all bring forth a lot of knowledge. But if knowledge is not integrated, how come humanity cannot get off their knees? Of course they cannot. When people are become switched, they cannot understand. Their attention span becomes like this, so they cannot cope with a book. You know, when your books are very thick and you bring a lot of knowledge, but people cannot cope with so much knowledge because their brain is switched. And when we de-switch the brain, we will reconnect the connections between the brain hemispheres. It brings more clarity to people, and their consciousness can expand. This is why it's so important. It's so important to know this. It's so important to understand what is going on. I want to illustrate the 3 exercises that Dr. Manfred Döpp, the German doctor who is very holistic, is actually illustrating on another video which can be found in this description. But the 3 exercises goes like this. You take actually the thumbs under the eyebrow and the 4 fingers on top, and then massage from the inside to the outside. And it doesn't matter which direction you go first and so, but you massage the eyebrow. We have a lot of acupuncture points here. It's important to do the cross movements, because then we do the cross in the brain as well, as you know, I'm very well you do. And then we go to the ears. We put the thumb inside the ear and the 4 fingers outside, and then we simply massage the ear like this from top to bottom, and we just keep massaging, and we do that for 30 seconds also with the eyebrows, of course. Then the last exercise is we take the inside of the small finger, or what we call it, I don't know, and on the other side as well, because here we have the heart meridian, and the heart meridian will calm us. Then we have this point between on the upper lip, we have this like where the finger fits in the middle, and underneath on the lower lip as well. And then we go like this, and people look very funny when they do this, and especially when we do it in official places or public places. It's very good, because then more people will see it, and we can start a new trend. That's very important. And then we change and do this for about 15 seconds too, also 15 and 15 seconds. Then by doing this we bring more clarity to the brain, and it works. We have so many results from this. People just say, hey, now I feel more alive again, I feel more awake. Exactly, because the electrosmog is switching the brain, and when the brain is switched, we cannot cope with all the information, we cannot cope with all the daily pressure, and we become locked into the so-called, you can say, the scalar wave soup, or the electrosmog soup, and we cannot really get out of it. And that's why we see today, and people, they just consume information, infotainment, we can say, but they don't do anything about it. Otherwise, the world would not look as it does, because you have been doing your work for 20 years now, and many other people have been doing this work for a lot of years. And people have become more and more dumbed down during the last 7 years where I have been doing this about the electrosmog. They just don't get it, and there is so much more to the mobile phones and the wireless society that most people are aware of, especially the scalar waves. The HARP in Alaska, the LOIS in Sweden, the AceCat in Norway, and so they all function by scalar waves. And scalar waves is used for mind control, and switching is the basis for mind control. So this is very important. Please enlighten all your readers, please enlighten all the subscribers on your channel, on your website, and so, because we are one. You keep saying that as well, but we are one, and if we all do a little more, if we all spread an important message like this, because we need solutions, and this is a solution that will bring more clarity to the brain, to the human mind, and thereby the human mind can cope much better with all your information, with other information, and then take action, because the action part comes from the soul, comes from the spirit as well. And if we don't have any connection to our soul spirit, we are lost, and we are lost souls, you can say, or we just move around here and consume, eat, drink, and have mediocre sex. We have no purpose, we have no mission in life, life becomes empty, and most people are really what we could call empty vessels today, because they have lost the connection, the true connection to what we truly are. We are all divine beings, and we are all one. So thank you, Mr. David Icke, thank you for paying this forward, thank you for enlightening other people, and thank you for teaching the dish-switching to all your viewers. Thank you very much, and take care and enjoy.